of that is uninstalling. I just want to see that while it uninstalls everything. I'll pause that. I do not care about Elden Ring. I hate to break it to you. I do not care. Open up the chat. See, that should be changed right off the bat. It is taking its sweet time to uninstall these. Why is this thing taking forever to load? I don't understand why you take so long to load. It's probably because, now that I think of it, because I'm uninstalling an ungodly amount of games so I can later install this. Apparently this game kinda ass, just cause you're supposed to like get through point A to B of like the show, I'm assuming. I don't think it's gonna be anything like the book, like the comic books. Yeah. A lot of people are saying it's bad because like one character would die early on in the story, like say Rick Grimes dies. He'll just show up in the next in a scene later on and then be gone again like he's dead. So it's not promising, but I did get it for like $20. Yeah, see, like, I think this actually happened in the comic books too. So, like, I think the whole premise of this is you're supposed to change changing the course of AMC The Walking Dead history. 5 walkers relive iconic moments and change the destiny of the Walking Dead universe. That's how it's supposed to happen. So, like, here, instead of it being Shane that dies, it's Rick that dies. So then Shane carries on. But what'll happen is that he dies, he lives, but he shows up later on down the road, which kind of contradicts all of that. Why is this taking so fucking long to uninstall? I did not. It uninstalled my 2 biggest games before it uninstalled anything else. I am a little confuzzled on what it is struggling to uninstall. Oh, hey, they actually plan on having NPCs. That is an update, though, is the thing. So, yeah, let's get... Yeah, it uninstalled Starfield and Red Dead 2, which are my biggest games. So I think right now we'll just kind of chat for a bit. You know what I could do, probably, maybe, hopefully, is react to some YouTubers like this Mr. Moist Critical. The fuck is this one?
I've said this a few times and I'll say it again. We have truly reached the golden age of scams. I think people today are more susceptible to a bunch of hullabaloo nonsense than we have ever been in the history of our species. Even all the way back to like the medieval ages when people would peddle snake oil, just a bunch of nonsense like, here's a health potion, right? And it's just like, you know, river water mixed with a little dirt, and they sell that. And people are like, oh, it's working. You know, that kind of stuff. I think even the people back then were more privy to scams than they are today. People buy into actually anything at all, and then they subscribe to that belief forever. They refuse to acknowledge that they have been scammed because I guess maybe their pride stands in the way of it, or maybe they truly convince themselves that it's working. Today we have a very interesting one from a Instagram influencer or TikTok influencer, I'm not exactly sure, who's trying to convince her audience that optometrists are lying to you and that glasses are the devil. They're a scam. They don't work. In fact, you can heal bad eyesight through spiritual exercises as well as general exercises and something she calls eye yoga. That's going to fix your eyesight. She also thinks a lot of the reason that people have bad eyesight is because they believe they have bad eyesight. So if you just stop believing you have bad eyesight, all of a sudden you're going to be fucking 20/20 vision. And of course, rub some essential oil.
I fucking wish that's how that works. I am so blind that if I take these off, it's not like I can't see anything, but the words down here become blurred. I can kind of see you share, download things, and clip. I can't see this. The chat log, I could barely see what this says here. Oh, it's just the name of my title. So, yeah, I fucking wish that is how that worked. But it doesn't. And you know what? Who fucking cares? That the reason I say that is because you can believe in whatever the fuck you want. But it doesn't. How do I say it? change my title. It's supposed to be late night to chat and game with a guy with a strange heart. All I did was change the description, not the title, which kind of blows dicks. I could do a poll or a Q&A, that's kind of cool. If only I had an audience to actually do that with, then I would, but you know what, that's alright, because, like I said, who fucking cares?
From her MLM multi-level marketing scam on your eyes twice a day, and you'll be seeing through people's clothes, basically. Your eyesight's gonna be so good. You'll be able to see the future.
You get fucking X-ray vision if you buy her fucking canola oil mixed with a little water and flower petals that she picked off of her neighbor's garden.
Sure. It's a beautifully ridiculous scam that some people have truly bought into, which is very sad but not surprising in the current climate of the world. And there's a TikToker named Mallory's Thoughts who actually took her course.
Until this updates. I'm torn between naming it as a news and media or a podcast and talk show. I'll just do other. Let's see, does that change the name? Yep, it did. Alright, cool. So I'm happy about that at least. Let's continue.
Of course, in order to see this outlandish nonsense firsthand, and she reported it to the masses. And it's even more bizarre than I could have possibly envisioned. I don't care how many carrots you eat or how much eye yoga you do, your eyesight still won't be good enough to see this coming. It is so wacky. So huge thanks to Mallory's Thoughts for going to the seminar and conveying all the information to the rest of us. It's a beautiful disaster. Have I seen the Samantha Lotus MLM scam saying we don't need glasses? How optometrists scam you. The anti-glasses influencer who claims she can fix your eyesight but is slammed as harmful by experts. Well, that's just because they don't understand her methods.
What's the one thing that your optometrist doesn't want you to know about? The fact that you do not need glasses. That's right, you may have been told that you need glasses, but that's actually a lie.
I knew it.
There are mental, emotional, physical, and even spiritual reasons why you may not be seeing, and I'm here to tell you that that can be healed.
I love spiritual as one of the culprits.
To add on to that, with spiritual, I find it so fucking annoying. I'm sorry, but I do. I find it so ungodly annoying about the fact that they're like, these crystals, if you shove them up your nose and your asshole, they'll heal your arthritis, make your vision 20/20. Again, it's so annoying. I get that, but I do not care. That is the long and short of it. I do not care about chakras, healing crystals, or fucking star signs or whatever. Cause, oh, look at that, I installed another game.
You haven't believed hard enough that you can see. Your faith in God has clouded your judgment. That's like actual Star Wars shit. That's why your eyes are so blurry.
If you want to learn more, read the comments. What's the one...
Does she expand on... What? I'd like to hear her methodology here. You've got me hooked. That's a huge scam. She told her Instagram followers she healed her own eyesight and is offering to teach others to heal the spiritual, emotional... Yeah. It incorporates positive psychology, CBT. How's cock and ball torture going to help? Psychoneuroendoimmunology, metaphysics, energetics, nutrition, and alternative natural medicine into her healing protocols. She broke down Lotus course in a video and garnered 2.5 million views. Mallory, a popular TikToker.
I am happy to report that I paid $11 this morning to attend so that you didn't have to. Lotus,
Thanks.
We are off to a great start here with a legal disclaimer saying I'm not a pharma doctor. And if anyone wants to explain to me what pharma doctor means, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can do that for you. She's not educated in any way, shape, or form. Like, she's just actually fucking stupid. That's the best I got for you. This is holistic education and empowerment purposes. Ah. So science, then.
So suggesting that you can't see 20/20 vision because you have unbalanced spirituality, because you have some sort of blockages. So, you know, it's like
chakra
all
blockages
your
will
fault,
do that to you.
basically. We did a few eye health breaks, like eye stretching. She kept calling it eye yoga. It's pretty much the nicest
Can you
part
show
of
me
the whole
one?
thing. At this point, she suggested that
Wait, what is eye yoga, I wonder? Hold on, does she have any courses on that? Now I'm very interested. As an optometrist with a degree, I can tell that she is completely bullshitting. As a man who is not an optometrist, I can tell that she is completely bullshitting. I would hope.
As a man that needs glasses, I'm pretty sure she's bullshitting.
Most people will hear this and know that it's bullshit. We're reaching a point where people will believe anything and everything, but that's only if you do it as a counter to something. You can't lead with your craziness. It's only if you counter something with craziness where they're like, ah, that's the truth. Because no one wants to trust anything.
Are these the same people that think masturbating will make you go blind? I actually wonder.
So if Samantha, if you're here, let me give you some free advice on how you could have sold this on Twitter to the absolute lunatics there. If you had said, Big Pharma is trying to vax all of us and send us to these optometrists to keep glasses on us as a muzzle, here's the truth, you would have crushed it. You would have absolutely nailed it. But you didn't lean into that hard enough. Instead, you led with your lunacy. So now everyone shits on you. See, it's all about framing. You have to put an enemy, and you have to put yourself as the ally. And that's how you can sell anything.
could in fact change your eye color through cellular cleansing and proper detoxification.
You can also just get like those eye cover things. You know, they're like the lens caps or whatever you call them. Fucking now, hold on. What the fuck are these called again? No, contacts, that's what it is. Yeah, this shit. Where you just put like fake icon. Wait, can you really get those? So are you telling me people could just put these on and then fake being blind? That's all it really takes. It takes maybe $50 at most, 20 for the lens, a little walkie cane, and like and your pet if you have one to add on to it.
At this point, we're about 30.
That's fantastic news. I've always wanted to have green eyes. Does she have any courses on that somewhere that still exist? Man, I need to pay $11 to go to this seminar. Mallory's hogging all of the secrets, the cheat codes. What kind of detox do I need for green eyes?
Says named best vision in the military. What the fuck does that mean? Where did that award come from?
It's a prestigious award. It's like in high school when you're like voted most likely to, you know, be a football star, most likely to be a crack addict, whatever. Like, I'm sure the military does that.
Most
right?
likely to be a crack
Best
addict.
vision in the military award? Take a peek. It's probably a very prestigious list here. What the fuck? There's no Wikipedia page dedicated to this? The best eyesight? Come on. The Guinness Book doesn't have it. Yeah, I can't believe it. Why wouldn't the Guinness Book be on it? They'd love that.
Again, this like, you can't see because you just need to let go of the belief that you can't see. And she talked about...
Hold on, let me try that. I believe I can see. Nope. Still can't see shit.
About how, like...
That's what I was saying.
There's just a barrier between you and the rest of the world. And, like, what are you hiding from? Then we said some affirmations together.
I've always said that's how you fix most things. You just gotta stop believing in it.
That reminds me, I never realized that how do I say this? I always wondered what most YouTubers used to record their videos on their computers. I always thought they just had like another camera or something plugged into their computer and it recorded that way. I did not know a lot of them used OBS like I'm doing right now. I'm using OBS to stream. But yeah, it's really nice.
If you don't believe in it, it's not real.
Says that you can use eye strengthening oils -Immortel. I know that Samantha
What's
is a
that?
rep for doTERRA, sells essential oils under a multi-level marketing structure. And I
Oh.
have been waiting for her to mention it.
This goes very deep. I see. So, she has her own MLM scam. So that's what this is all about? Immortel, Samantha Lotus. A doTERRA. So this is the grand scheme. Now all the puzzle pieces are coming together. While our products can be used to promote a healthier lifestyle and achieve certain wellness benefits, they cannot be used or marketed as capable of preventing, treating, or curing any disease or symptoms associated with a disease. So the doTERRA essential oils, the Immortel and the Solubel, our top oil blend.
Immortel is a doTERRA essential oil.
Mm-hmm.
And so now
Just
this whole
saw that.
masterclass is starting to make sense. It's a
Did
Trojan...
they name it Immortel to make it sound like immortal? Like it's gonna be there forever, whatever, like, was there actually a reason behind naming it Immortel? Or as I would say, Immortelli, because I like to pronounce the letters at the end.
Trojan horse to pitch an MLM.
It's more than that. You're also paying for the Trojan horse. Very interesting strategy, actually, from Samantha. She's quite the pioneer.
And that bottle looks awfully familiar.
Oh, it's the Immortel,
Remind you
yeah.
what this one looks like.
Saved his life.
Third line from the top, essential oils around the eyes 2 times a day. With
I love this essential oil craze that we've come back to. I remember when I was a kid, my mom for a little while was really into the essential oil stuff, and then eventually she's like, wow, this is just bullshit. Because at some point you realize it doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't even work as a placebo for anything. But somehow we're just ignoring all of that now. It's like, yeah, it's not working, but that's because I haven't done it for 50 fucking years straight. Then it'll start working. It's just people now just get so invested in these things because they don't want to be looked at as a fool. You should just cut your losses and realize you've wasted tons and tons of money on essential oils that don't do what they claim for a lot of these scams. I don't think there's anything inherently dangerous about them or anything, but they keep getting marketed as like these panacea, like elixirs that will cure everything if you just use essential oils. SamanthaLotus.com, Natural Solutions for ADHD, the Reality Hacking Podcast. Fortunately, the holistic health model offers a different explanation and more productive solution. Extensive scientific studies have shown that refined sugar, artificial sweeteners, and chemical food additives, as well as nutritional deficiencies, preservatives, and food allergies are all causes of ADHD.
Where is he reading this? Right here? And whole foods are the key to a healthy brain. I have hit my head more times than I can count. And there ain't no saving it.
Additionally, other correlated causes are stress-related. Where's your solution? Cut out sugar? Come on. Oh, that is your solution. A diet rich in vegetables, quality health fats, organic lean protein, fruit, and whole foods is the key to a healthy brain. So that's how we beat ADHD, is a better diet. Thanks, Samantha. She solved it. ADHD has been defeated. I'm eating a donut. Well, enjoy contracting ADHD, swine. Should have listened to Samantha. What does it say? Ultimate co-creator? What does that mean? Is she God?
Alt. I have to think about that for a minute. Not moving off
Lying on a
social
job
workers.
resume or bluffing your way to a job that you have absolutely no idea how to handle isn't the most uncommon thing in the world. My favorite example of this is George Lazenby, who played James Bond for a single movie. He made up his entire resume, lied about all of it in order to land the role, and played it one time and quit. Dude had no acting experience at all and must have forged the best summer reading report of a resume ever. So he got to be James Bond on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and I love the poster here. Far up, far out, far more. James Bond 007 is back. More like fucking Lames Bond. Jesus Christ, that hasn't aged well. That goes to show you how much we've evolved. That is not the best tagline now, but I do appreciate it. Point is, forging a resume, making shit up in order to get a job, that's not unheard of. And today I was thinking back to some classic controversies and examples of this happening, and I remembered like 4 or 5 years ago, there was a couple cases where people pretended to be sign language interpreters and landed roles in major productions such as...
Oh, I've seen this on like... What do you call it? Let's see if I can even find it. Yeah, this woman here. This is the woman I've seen all over the news when it first came out anyways. Let's see if I can get it to play. Most likely not.
At Vistaprint, we print signs so people can see your brand.
Alright, I'm not watching an ad. God, I'm so happy I don't have to deal with all that in a DMV. What the shit is that? I guess that could be good. Imagine doing a 3-point turn in that. Okay, now we're just moving on to ads.
news broadcasts or events and concerts,
that was the
and
one
eventually
I got.
people that actually understood sign language called them out because they were signing complete nonsense. It wasn't even close. It was blatantly
I wonder if he's going to talk about the woman I literally just searched up.
way off. They were up there just doing the fucking scat man with their hands, not making any sense. They were up there like popping and locking, doing like TikTok dances basically, and calling it sign
Fortnite
language.
emotes.
Happened again. Another
Yep,
sign
it's literally the woman I just researched. Golly.
language interpreter accused of signing total gibberish. This time it was at the police news conference announcing an arrest in the Tampa serial killings.
We will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder.
I don't.
She literally just does 4 at some point. Hold on, wait, go back.
4 counts of
She literally just does 4. Just no, number 4.
first-degree murder.
And then just 1 of first degree. What the fuck?
I don't know American Sign Language, but I do know she got one of those right. 4.
Yeah.
I understood that one. A pretty high-profile case here, a serial killer, and I bet all the viewers that are hard of hearing must have been beyond confused as to the report that was being delivered from this lady.
Standing off to the side, apparently translating every word, this woman.
We received over 5,000 tips in this case.
But it turns out much of what she was signing was nonsense. She waved her arm.
I'm gonna do this in another page, because this is starting to get annoying and I want to get rid of these fucking... Fuck off. Okay, let's see if that did it. Oh my fucking god. Now I'm getting like all the pop-ups. Everything's starting to be annoying. Okay.
Arms
maybe-
around like she was singing Jingle Bells.
I've got to admire the fake it till you make it attitude here, but unfortunately the only thing to make was a fool of herself. I decided to look at comments, which is usually very ill-advised. When you go into the YouTube comments, you're going into the swamp. But I really was curious if she was signing any real words at all, because even to my stupid, smooth little reptile brain, some of those did look like actual sign language, movements. And it turns out she was using some words correctly, such as kill and murder and arrested. However, most of it was gibberish. Most of it was just actual mumbled nonsense. So when she was doing all that stuff with her, fingers, none of that was real. I could have been up there doing, the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 salute, and I would have been making more sense than she was. It's also wild to think that anyone hard of hearing that would have been watching this broadcast might have been concerned for her health, because the way she's signing would have been like having a stroke. A ton of gibberish with a few words that get mumbled out would have been like going to an auction during a bidding war, where the auctioneer is just going fucking hog wild, like, yeah, do I hear 5, do I hear 5?
Hold on. We're gonna do this, because
Lying on
I have a feeling he is going to be...
I was an extra in the Hunger Games.
Fuck off. I have a feeling he's gonna be a pretty big... It's because I have to... Hold on. Stream info. Okay. We're gonna put just the straight connection to his channel, because I feel like he's gonna be a pretty large portion of what I'm gonna react to, because he reacts to some pretty weird shit.
I'm going 1, 2 here, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 25, 5, 5, 25, 5, 5, 25 over there, 5, 5, 5.
Says one outraged sign language expert. The woman, identified as Derlin Roberts, has a string of arrests for fraud. So how did she come to be translating at last week's high-profile police news conference?
I just didn't ask enough questions.
I love this section where he just kind of pops in like, yep, it was me. I'm the fucking idiot. I did it. He's just very upfront and honest, like a parent that caught their kid stealing a cookie from the cookie jar and just folding, like, no, it was me. I did it. It's my fault. I'm the dummy. Point and laugh at me, shoot your spitballs at me. I know. It was me. Also, at a certain point, I just have to admire this lady's grind. She was born for one purpose. Trolling. Her whole life has been nothing but fraud, and she still continues to go down that path. And she wasn't even getting paid for this, by the way. She did this just for the love of lying. So she had no experience signing, she also had a history of fraud, and still landed the biggest sign language interpretation position of that year. This serial killer broadcast was a huge one. I remember this vividly. So, hats off to her that she's still able to keep performing at a high level of fraud.
Tampa Police Public Information Officer Steve Hegarty told me...
This man... He looks like he just got hit by a truck and didn't die, and the goal was to do that. Exactly, die. He just does not look okay. He looks like he walked into a restaurant with his wife, and his wife immediately started yelling with the staff. And he just has to sit there and wait for her to finish.
Information Officer Steve Hegarty told me the woman simply showed up out of the blue and offered her services.
My immediate reaction was, I didn't call for a sign language interpreter, but that's great that we have one here. I let her in.
Did this woman appear to know what she was doing?
To the untrained eye, and that would include mine, I didn't see any problem.
There's almost an art form for something being so stupid that it's smart. A plan like this, which at its core is just complete dog shit dummy, that it crosses over that event horizon into being genius. This is something where no one's going to really question you, so she shows up like an angel. Hey, I'll be a sign language interpreter here, just so that way if anyone's hard of hearing and watching this, they can get the information. Like, oh, that's so nice of you to offer your services. Can you prove that you can do it? And then, if you don't know American Sign Language, you're not going to be able to pick up on, all kinds of moves with your hands and shit not meaning anything. So she could have easily faked her way into it, and she did flawlessly. Like the guy said, to the untrained eye, he had no red flags being tripped off and they're not going to really background check someone that's offering their service for free, because what would be the incentive? Like, why would they be lying about it?
This latest embarrassment comes 3 months after it was revealed that the sign language interpreter at a Hurricane Irma news conference, also in Florida, made no sense.
The time to act is now.
Haggerty is summing up the latest goof.
We won't be using that woman again.
Cops say this was not a crime, but it was an ethical violation.
So we're going to get to that other sign language blunder in just a moment, because it also happened in Florida, and I also remember that one as well, because I'm from Florida. Now, as he mentioned, it's not a crime to be faking a sign language position, I guess. Since she wasn't charging for her service, she didn't defraud them or anything. She just lied to them and pretended she knew what she was doing. They got pranked, basically. I bet she was giggling the entire way home that she actually pulled this off. She must have like a Facebook group that they do these high-profile pranks in or something. Like, I don't know why she would do this, other than just having fun with it. Which is still such a wild activity, like a wild hobby, to just pretend to be a sign language interpreter.
The time to act is now.
It was an urgent Hurricane Irma evacuation order, but look at the sign language interpreter on the right. He's actually signing total gibberish.
Wait. That was for a conference to start doing an evacuation for a hurricane. And this man just walks in like, what up? I know how to do this.
What's he really communicating to deaf citizens caught up in the hurricane crisis? Words like pizza, monsters, and the sentence, help you at that time to use bear hug.
This situation actually has a lot more nuance compared to the last one. In the last one, it's like that Shaq meme, I'm unfamiliar with your game. I don't know why that lady pretends to be a sign language interpreter, especially when she's not getting paid for it. She does it just to make the whole broadcast silly and goofy. A mere mortal can't possibly understand her deep, complex motivations for why she fakes being a sign language interpreter. But in this case, the guy did not want to do this. He was forced to. And he actually does have a sympathetic background and actually does have experience with sign language, but told them he wasn't comfortable doing this and didn't think he was cut out for it. So they mention here that he was signing real words like pizza and monsters, both of which could be applicable to a hurricane. A hurricane comes around, you're probably going to have pizza places being hit. Pizza's not safe. It's not like a fucking safe spot or anything. You might even have pizza flying around the hurricane that could be used as a projectile weapon. So maybe he had a whole spiel he was going to go into about pizza. Monsters. A hurricane is absolutely nature's monster. It's been called that since the beginning of time. And then about the bear hug. You know, better hug your loved ones because you might fucking lose them in the hurricane. There's plenty of ways of spinning that where it makes sense. The point is, he was using real words and actually stringing together sentences. They just didn't fully make sense at all.
Deaf actress Marlee Matlin posted, "This is outrageous."
Please heed our warnings.
The interpreter's name is Marshall Green. Officials in Manatee County asked Green to step in because no one else was available. His mom, brother Morgan, who is hearing impaired, and Morgan's fiancée Chauncey are coming to his defense today.
This is where the plot starts to thicken. You can see where the narrative is about to get real convoluted and confusing here. So, they called upon him, like Batman with the signal in the sky, in order to be the sign language interpreter for the evacuation orders for Irma. That's a very serious thing. The evacuation for Irma was a huge deal. I got evacuated during Hurricane Irma. Now, luckily, I didn't see his broadcast, and I don't understand sign language.
Oh, is it Irma? Or I heard it as Irma. Fuck off. Of course, Wikipedia is not a good place to be at. There's a different place, right? September 10th, 2017. Hurricane Irma. Damn, it just straight kind of bulldozed through. I think I was just starting high school too when this happened. Well, everyone was like freaking out about this hurricane. I was sitting there building Legos
because if I did, I may have ended up just getting a pizza and writing it out, which may have fucking killed me, who knows. But point is, they chose Marshall, saying they had nobody else to go to, so it was their last-ditch Hail Mary, desperate attempt to get some kind of sign language interpreter up there for the broadcast to relay the information to the hearing-impaired community. I don't know how they chose him. Someone must have just been like, hey, I saw Marshall do a fucking Vulcan salute at the office one time. Good enough, bring him in. Surely he knows sign language.
He, told them he didn't think that he was able to do it, and they felt like that they needed him to. So he said yes. The vocabulary for an evacuation is very different than everyday language.
I'm just asking, as someone hearing impaired, what your reaction is to
So, he knew sign language, but only for like an everyday conversation. He didn't actually know sign language for like how to tell people to evacuate.
criticism. Chaucer signed my question to Morgan.
He only did what he was told to do, so please leave our family alone.
In this case, I really just don't blame Marshall for this situation at all. This is not his fault. He gave them warning that he probably couldn't do this and he didn't feel comfortable trying. His brother is hearing impaired, so he does know sign language, and his brother and family also confirm he does know sign language, but the vocabulary and the speed of the evacuation orders are very different than what he's used to, which is why he said he didn't feel comfortable trying it, but he still did the best that he could when they asked him to. So I do really feel bad for him and the family here, because this is really not his fault. He didn't want to be there, he didn't lie to get there, and he didn't try to, like, fuck the whole thing up. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about these because they popped into my head this afternoon, because I remembered there was so much sign language controversy for like a year, where even outside of these two cases, a couple other sign language interpreters were revealed as complete frauds, and they were ones that actually traveled with bands and rappers where they'd like sign the songs, and it turns out they weren't even signing anything close to the songs. So the whole thing was just a wild little trend almost, and just want to talk about it. That's about it. So yeah. Oh, jinkies, gamers, more trash. Yippee. The Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, which I've been looking forward to, turns out to be nigh unplayable. It's, once again, a revolting pile of garbage put into the landfill here, and I don't understand how you can even fumble this hard. The last night, 10,000 people tried to play on launch. Now it's a ghost town. Only 3 servers were available with 64 slots, so a total of about 200 players, which means you had better odds of making it into the NBA draft and getting selected than making it into one of these servers last night. The competition was fierce. You would have needed an actual Jedi-level
I used to play this game, I believe on the PSP. At least one similar to it.
Chlorian count to make it into this 200 exclusive slots available for this game, and if you didn't, you couldn't play the multiplayer, which is the main draw for the Battlefront Classic Collection, obviously, for 35 clams. 35 smackaroos here to basically just get declined from the frat party. That's outrageous. Like, $35 for the Classic Collection I think would be a reasonable price if everything was actually improved, like if they, made the visuals better, the multiplayer was super crisp, super clean, very tight, then I could understand that, because you're getting 2 full games, really. But as it stands, you're not even getting a game. You're getting slapped, spit on, and then beef stewed here, bare ass, by this company that's just exploiting your nostalgia. It's tragic. Why is it so fucking rare for games to release in a functional state on launch? And to add insult to injury, take a peek at this puppy. They didn't even bother to put any level of effort into making it a reasonable size. It is 72 fucking gigs! 72 gigs! Where does that extra bloat even come from for the bloat lord? What? How? I know I made a video ranting about this a while ago, how, like, every game is 50 plus gigs, even the simplest shit ever. Like, I guarantee if they remastered Pac-Man, somehow that'd come out.
The fact that Call of Duty went from however big it was on the PS3 for like Modern Warfare 2 and Ghost on the 360 to now 200 gigabytes on the PS4 and PS5 is unreasonable. It's almost 500 gigabytes, isn't it? Let's find out. Black Ops 6 is going to take over 300 gigabytes of storage on day one. 300 gig, that's more than half of most of Xboxes and PS4 and 5's storage. Like, that's a lot. It's only a matter of time before it's half a terabyte.
Not the 55 fucking gigs at this point. Where is it even coming from? Are they just hiding uncompressed assets in the game just for fun? Like, oh, here's a rock that takes up an extra 5 gigs placed in the middle of Naboo for no fucking reason. Or, oh, you know, it's a remaster, so on all the TIE fighters, we made sure to improve the windshield glass, so it's highly reflective and it's 15 trillion polygons, but it also added an extra 20 gigs worth of space required. Like, where is it even coming from? It doesn't make sense. The only explanation I can find is that it's bigger now because they had to make it more compatible for, like, Steam Deck and shit. But, like, that seems a little excessive, right? Like, that seems like a lot of extra space that came into play just for compatibility's sake. I don't know if that's necessarily it, but I'm also a goddamn Neanderthal, so perhaps it is. But I'm still very fucking tired of every game being, like, 50 plus gigabytes for no reason. These are 20-year-old games. They are 20-year-old games, and you did the bare minimum with the remaster to begin with. Why the fuck does it require 72 gigs? It's incomprehensible. Now, earlier this afternoon, I decided to hop into the Crucible myself to get a first-hand experience of this garbage, just to see if it really is as bad as everyone's making it out to be. It has mostly negative reviews on Steam. It's got like a 21%, which I think is alarmingly high if it barely works.
Right, how big is it now? What was it called again? See if I can find it. Oh my fucking god. Here, let's find out how big it is now.
Dear Dad.
I don't think this one was it. Yeah, no, this one looks too new. Oh no, this is... I know this one. I played it on the PS4. Yeah, it's this one. Oh no, I played the Battlefront 2 on PS4. This is a different one. Let's see. I think it's this one right here. Star Wars Battlefront Classic 2004. I think that's it. Also, I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic 2005 is the one I played on the PSP. That or it might have been this one. No, this one doesn't look like it. I think the one I'm thinking about is this one down here. This one looks more like what I remember playing. This was like one of the earliest games I ever played too.
So I spent like an hour and a half with this little shit stain, and I was able to find games for the most part, so it looks like they added more servers here so you can actually get into lobbies more frequently, but I almost wish that wasn't the case, because every game is unplayably laggy. Like, this guy's got me in a Dormammu time loop here. Like, everyone's teleporting around, rubber banding, disappearing, reappearing. It's like I'm caught in a fucking fever dream. and sometimes you'll just randomly get hit by like this invisible tornado that'll have you spinning around in circles, nauseating you. It's absolutely awful. I'd rather just not even be able to get into a game as opposed to having to see something that I loved turn out like this. There's also this fun little bug slash feature where if you try and search for a game, so like Hero Assault, if you look for a game type, it'll crash your game every single time. It doesn't matter what game mode you put in there, it seems like searching for anything immediately crashes it. I really wanted to play a little Hero Assault, so I wanted to try and find some of those bad boys, and unfortunately the only bad boy here was me for paying $35 for this miserable experience, or really lack thereof an experience. But like I said, it doesn't seem like it's exclusive to just Hero Assault, which is more of just an assault on your patience, having to restart the game every time. Like even just searching for CTF here also caused the same problem to happen where it just crashed it, which is a really frustrating little feature. Now for Battlefront 1, I was able to find one almost stable server where I'd only experienced rubber banding and lag like this like 20 times a match, which is an astronomical improvement over everything else I was getting throughout the afternoon. So I was able to actually play Battlefront 1 a little bit in this game right here, which for all I know, this is footage of the very first playable match since the Remaster Collection launched. Everything else has just been an absolute headache. At least this one was only lagging half of the time. So I was even able to hit this montage clip right here with that beautiful fucking collateral. Tell your friends. Eventually I was even able to find this unicorn, which was a somewhat stable Battlefront 2 lobby here. So I was able to play a little bit on this one and start fucking racking up crazy kill streaks. But it doesn't really excuse anything. If you have to spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to find 2 playable lobbies, there's definitely a fucking problem. Like, the game is released in an unforgivable state and charging $35 for it. What an absolute joke. Needless to say, I'm not impressed with the Remaster Collection, and I'm really getting super tired of games releasing in this kind of condition. There is no way they didn't know that 3 servers wasn't going to be enough. Like, they had to have known that. So on launch, most people couldn't even play it. Like, what do you stand to gain from that? Most of those players, I imagine, refunded it when they realized they weren't getting in. So even if you do fix it, they're not coming back. So all you do is lose money by doing that. Why wouldn't you prepare better? Why wouldn't...
I would have been so fucking mad if that came up. Like, I did that, like, I bought it, thinking it was going to be a really good experience back down memory lane, and it just fucking sucked. Is that what PSP stands for? PlayStation Portable? Yeah, that's some nostalgia right there. That fucking... That was the shit for me. I think this is the one that I was thinking about. $50 now. There's a newer version of this item. Can you even get a PSP anymore? Yeah, for the low price of $200. I would definitely buy one of these though, just to play it again. There's so many games I would want to play.
Wouldn't you put more time into it to optimize it so that way more people would be able to play it? It just doesn't compute. Like, the amount of money you're saving by not introducing more servers or by not making the game run better, by putting no effort into optimizing the game, cannot be worth it in the long run because you stand to gain so much more from people actually having access to it and wanting to play. Right now, it is so hard to enjoy this game Because even if you do put a lot of time into it, it's going to take a while to find a lobby that doesn't just suck shit. So you're better off spending the 35 clams on a game that actually works and is actually fun, like Helldivers 2 for instance. You can get so much more bang for your buck from...
Helldivers 2 is quite nice, I must admit.
Anything that's not this remastered collection. Just an outrageous waste of time and money. I think it's just a quick cash grab trying to capitalize off everyone's nostalgia for Battlefront 1 and 2. I still remember Reddit used to be feral for Battlefront 2. At least once every 3 months there'd be like, does anyone else remember this hidden gem? And there's a picture of Battlefront 2. Does anyone else wish that there was a sequel to Battlefront 2? And then a picture of Battlefront 2. So I think they may have just been like brainwashed by r/gaming for their unbelievable love for Battlefront that they thought they could just pump anything out and get like $1 million overnight for it, which I just don't see being the case, because this is not a good remaster. It doesn't even work hardly. Now I know we did end up getting the Battlefront 3 and 4, and I hate this naming scheme where they just called it Battlefront and Battlefront 2 again, even though it's the 3rd and 4th of Battlefront series. But those two games never really scratched the itch that the OGs delivered, which is why so many people, including me, were excited for the remaster collection here to bring it back, pump some life into it, and just get that blast of early 2000s gaming nostalgia. Like, of course, not all of the mechanics and everything are going to age well, but you can at least make the experience smooth, so that way you can still have a good time playing it and appreciating it, which is what I was expecting, and not what I got. This game is a pile of dog shit, and I cannot believe that they are charging $35 for it. It's not worth it. That's really about it. So yeah. Another day, another goofy crypto project to laugh at. Yesterday I was finding tons of beautiful NFTs to make me sick to my stomach, such as the Adolf Hitler collection, where apparently Adolf Hitler's soul has been minted into the blockchain in a collection called the Adolfies, which is basically Bored Apes but with Hitler. I'm guessing that project's really popping off. And then, of course, recently Troy Baker went on Twitter and publicly shot himself in the foot by announcing his own NFT project, saying, "You can hate or you can create." And collectively, he got hated. He got fucking ratioed straight to hell. He got banished to the Shadow Realm with a fat ratio. But neither of these projects are what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be looking at Crypto Land. I actually watched this on stream the other day. Before I enlighten you with the Crypto Land video, I wanted to clarify something. On stream before I watched this, I mentioned that I knew a very limited amount about Crypto Land, but I did mention a shitstorm that I saw on Twitter with Crypto Land in regards to kids. So I said that they allowed kids on their island, but apparently this wasn't exactly what they said, so I'll just show you the tweet. This was the tweet that caused all of the drama on Twitter, and it's a fucking weird tweet. So it's even, like, more disturbing than what I said going into the video, or what I thought DMCA striking people that shit talk their project. So if that does happen to this